Hey guys, it's Rhett from the 100 Acre Wood Highlands. I'm out here in my garden today and it is a nasty mess in here. I mean, this garden has got a long way to go before it's ready to plant stuff this spring, but it's time to start getting it ready. We're on the first week of March here and it's beautiful weather today. The sun is shining and we're probably gonna hit like 70 degrees or something. Pretty windy, but here in central Oklahoma in January, February, and March, we can get these little spurts of super nice weather where it's sunny and 70 and you think it's springtime, and then winter comes back in with the cold front and has one last hurrah and the temperatures will be back in the 30s. So our average last frost date in Oklahoma isn't until April really, but here on the farm we've got lots of different fruit trees and I've noticed that some of those things are already starting to bud out. So I'm really crossing my fingers that the weather keeps nice and that it doesn't kill all those blooms, because we have 5 different pear trees here on the farm. We've got a peach tree, we've got 4 young apple trees, wild plums, and all sorts of different stuff that when we get this nice weather like this, they'll start to bloom and come alive. And I've already noticed all like the Bradford pears and the ornamental trees and stuff are already blooming all over town. But I'm really hoping that winter doesn't come back in and kill all that stuff. But since we're having nice weather right now, it's a good chance to go through the garden, kind of clear out all this old dead grass. There's a whole bunch of mulch from where the power company came through and trimmed up tree limbs and stuff, and I'm gonna get some of that mulch and put it around some of my raised beds and some of them around my trees and stuff, and get things ready so that when we do get time to plant next month, everything will be ready and in good condition. So let's check it out. So right now, the garden is just full of tall, dead grass and all the equipment and tools that I used last year, and it's just really kind of not in good shape. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Kind of out in this area some. Last week, I came through with a weed eater and just kind of cut down some of the dead stuff, and I've started to rake up some of the grass into piles. I was actually gonna burn that stuff today, but it is so windy out here that I'm afraid that if I went to burn all this dead grass, I'd have to call the fire department. So I don't wanna do that. So the goal today is I wanna rake up as much of this dead grass as I can, get it out of here, and then bring the mulch to this area. That way it's ready to go. We're getting everything raked up. Garden's already starting to look a little bit better. I could come through here with a torch later and burn all the stuff that we don't get out. But today I want to kind of mainly focus on getting out as much of this junk and dead grass as we can. And then later on, around all the trees and our raised beds, we're gonna make pathways out of this mulch that the power company went through and cut some trees, and so we got lots and lots of this mulch, and I can go get a whole bunch more with the Ranger, and that'll kind of make us some paths to block the weeds and maybe kind of do one of those back to Eden gardening styles and see how that works for us. Hey Daisy, what you doing? So we made a little bit of progress. Been raking for a couple hours and I've got a big chunk of it taken care of. I'll kind of show you. It's looking a whole lot better than it was. Still have a few big piles that I gotta get out of here. And you can see the big pile I've got back there. That's all the old dead grass that I got out of here. This big huge pile of grass here is almost all of the grass that was inside the garden. So still got a little bit more to go, but just kind of got it out of the way. I think tomorrow, if it's not so windy, I'm gonna try to burn the little bit that's left. And then here in just a minute, I'm gonna stop and start spreading a little bit of the mulch. And then we're gonna go plant a little bit of onions. We're gonna plant some radishes. And then I've got 2 maple trees that I wanna get in the ground before tomorrow night when it's gonna rain. Yeah. All right, what are we doing, girl?
Planting some onions.
Planting onions. Show us how to do it.
So you make little holes.
Show them the onion.
Tell us what you do.
So you put them in a hole, and you make the tip stick up,
Yeah.
and it grows. These ones are already growing.
That sounds good. All right, it's definitely looking a lot better now. On this side of the garden, I've got 2 apple trees, and I've got a raised bed thing that's got about 4 different blueberry plants in it. And last year I planted those. I just bought them from Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere, and I got a few blueberries off of it, but that raised bed is full of an acidic mixed soil that to hopefully let those blueberries grow here in Oklahoma. But I'm not gonna till up this half the garden, and I'm also not gonna till up that half the garden over there that's got raised beds. And so I'm gonna be taking all of this mulch that I've got right here, and I'm gonna go get some more mulch when this runs out, and I'm gonna kind of take it and spread it all through this area. That way there's nothing, weeds and grass that's competing with all this stuff, and that'll just keep it nicer and prettier, hopefully, in the garden. Some other things that mulch does is it's gonna hold moisture in that area better. I already mentioned that it's gonna block out weeds, and hopefully over time it will kind of decompose and put nutrients back into the soil there. Raking up all that mulch is a lot of work, but I think it's gonna work good. It looks nice. I think it's gonna help keep the weeds down. And I've probably used, I'd say I've used half of the mulch that I've gathered up so far, but there's a whole lot more of this. I just have to go rake it up and bring it to this area that I want it. But I'm kind of wiping myself out, and the girls are back now, and so we've got 2 maple trees that I'm gonna go up to a different part of the property and plant, and I gotta save some of my energy for that. So I think the rest of this mulch can wait for another day. Time to go plant some trees. These trees are super stinking heavy, so we're having to pick them up with the tractor, and we're gonna see if we can fit both of them in the Ranger. Not quite sure. Got the parking brake off? You have the parking brake off? Okay, you're ready. Take the parking brake off and back up. That's good. Okay. You think I should have done this?
Yeah.
Well, I think she's doing a good job, don't you? She's doing a good job. Keep coming. Keep coming. A little more. Lift the bucket up just a little bit. Okay, now come forward about a foot. Okay, right there.
How long we would have to dig?
These trees are stinking heavy. And it says they're gonna get about 50 foot tall someday and about 30 foot wide. So we got to dig a pretty big hole on both sides of the gate. All right, we got one tree planted, time to water it, and then on to the second tree, almost done. All right, so Anna dug the tree, Anna dug the hole for the second tree. You dug the tree for the hole?
I dug the tree.
She dug the tree for the hole all by herself. So Lucy and I watered the first one. Now we're ready to throw this big tree out of the Ranger and plant the second hole. All right, well, we got a lot of work done today, but still have a long way to go in the garden. It definitely looks better than it was before, and got these 2 maple trees planted right before it got dark. Lucy helped by watering and digging, and she's all covered in mud, and she planted some onions and other stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, you can find me on Facebook by searching 100 Acre Wood Highlands. Thanks for watching. See you next time.